two socks and got stoned like I looked at Medusa. I'm a changed man, got my GED, put on my Ray-Bans, I'm a Jesus piece. I hear hate chants from the cheaper seats. Will I shake hands? TBD. Watch your six. Get out of my lane. Let me drop a hit. Get out of my lane. Not like this. Get out of my lane. Got a rocket ship. Get out of my lane. Let the beat go bang. Let the beat go bang.
gonna make it into Harry looking to get good into everyone as he thinks can't make what are you doing? Turn it off. He wants that. Will be 3 days.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Back again for another ECL matchup here. Division 3 it is. It's going to be Virtus Esports versus Project Mist. I'm joined once again by the lovely Avo. How are we doing? He's got a cold though. So
yes, I do apologise if I sound a bit fragile today. It might be some great clips actually, because you might be able to get me voice cracking a few times if anyone wants to embarrass me. But I'm a bit fragile. I am struggling a little bit with a cold. So if you see me every now and then go quiet and start coughing in the background, that's on me. I do apologise. But other than that, I'm not too bad. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Had a lovely, easy enough day in work myself, thankfully, which is always a bonus. But it does mean that it's felt like a long day. Just really in prep and actually sat in work doing some things for this. Strange. Just trying to
busy day then.
Play around with some screens and stuff and make different overlays and stuff with the Photoshop and that. I was trying to figure out something a little bit different going into it. But yeah, I mean, it's been good fun. But this matchup, we had a Neslo last night, and you said you were meant to be casting last night. You were
yes,
unavailable, but now you're also ill as well. So I mean, not having a great
no, 2 days have been rough. I decided to play chicken with London traffic, and unfortunately the traffic seemed to have won that battle.
That's rough. That's rough, definitely. Anyway, we've already quickly went over the rosters, so I'm going to show the screen to everybody so they can see exactly the rosters of the players that will be taking part in tonight's matchup. Virtus Esports, we see Tees, Mucket, Yosh, and YS, and we were discussing that YS is just a bit of a pain for name-wise because it's a double syllable, but it's a small name. It's a strange one.
Yeah, no, it's one of them ones that might be a bit of a tongue twister, especially if you try and combine Yosh and YS in a very quick sentence. That might be a bit of a challenge, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also on the other side, so that's Virtus. On Project Mist side, there's a few names in there I recognise, but Brutal Rays, Rondo, Fate, and Will Wes. Will Wes, I've known him very, very well. To see how he'll perform tonight. He's been wanting to get picked up for a while, and this might be one of his first outings here, especially in the ECL, for sure.
No, it'd be interesting to see these two matchups because Division 3, this is a little bit higher than the previous game we casted. So it'd be interesting to see sort of the progression and the development between the different divisions and seeing how the teams higher up on the spectrum and see how they play, whether it be, full sending it as the lower divs do or a bit more strategy, a bit more thought processing. So it'll be interesting to see which teams have the fundamentals, we'll say, a little bit more down.
Yeah, certainly will be. Well, fundamentals and such, like we speak about that a lot, obviously, but thinking about fundamentals going into our map sets, we already know if we're going to see two maps throughout the whole evening, if we get all the maps, that's all we're seeing is Skyline and Hacienda. In terms of pick wise, we know that Hacienda is a very well loved map choice, especially in the competitive scene. Do you know there's a reason why that everybody prefers to pick that one going forward?
I think Hacienda is just a bit more of a straight up map. Like some of the new maps in Black Ops 6, they kind of have like sort of little niche things or little things that can make the maps a bit more inconsistent. So like, you got Protocol Underground. Skyline, for example, has the underground catwalk that can make the spawns a bit inconsistent, whereas Hacienda is essentially a big square. So it is very sort of like, you can't really cause inconsistencies on that map. It is very much just, you have to post up, you have to take 50-50s, or work as a team and work trades and gunfights. So usually the better team will always win Hacienda.
Yeah, well, that's maybe the reason why they pick it, because they feel like they are the better side for the most part. That being said, we'll not know until we at least see map number 1 to see a kind of judgment of the two teams going into it, because like we said, we're not really aware really too much of the players that are involved in the matchup, but hoping to see a really good match, and hopefully it's just as competitive as the one that I watched last night. We casted over it at a Division 1, and that was interesting to say the least. The Falcons I thought they were going to win it. Like after their first hard point, it was just a solid performance. It almost looked like their 100-point club was on. They took their time a little bit, kind of messed around a bit, but still won it fairly straightforward in both hard points. But the S&D wasn't up to par. The first one they dropped 6-0, which was rough. And then I went to a round 11 in the last one, and they just couldn't hold their own, even though they had the 2-round advantage. We'll see what these teams can do. But did you watch or manage to catch any of the one from last night?
Yeah, so I actually managed to catch map 4 and 5 as I was just getting in. The map 5 is an interesting one, and in general, right, obviously it's not the same sort of a team as the Falcons is, but usually with the Falcons, obviously you have the main team that's now in the league, and even their academy team that's in North America. They're kind of synonymous with being really good at search and destroy, and then being a bit hit and miss at respawn. So to see a Falcons team win both hard points and still lose a series was quite an interesting one, I can't lie. Because normally they're the teams that have the Nesla, the sort of better teams in the divisions. But interesting to see that they almost potentially focus so much on the hard points that they actually lose what makes them so good at search. Maybe they're just a bit under-repped in a mode, thinking that they're going to be, good enough to naturally just play that game mode. But no, the last map was a great one. A 5-3 curse to close the night out is not too bad.
It's not too bad, especially if you're an SFAM fan anyway, that's for sure. Especially
Absolutely.
If you're a player. Not expecting it to go that way, considering. But I'd said that at the start of the cast as well, that I'm kind of expecting their S&Ds to be pretty good, considering I know how well the Saudi teams have been for Falcons and their S&D, and it just wasn't to be on that night. And they'll have to work on that. But on the other side, I'll have to kind of work on their hard points. I mean, they weren't very good hard points really for them. Even both maps were kind of still about 50 to 70 point difference well on for majority of the maps. So yeah, interesting one. But we're still waiting on one more player in the lobby here for that Brutal Rays side, the Project Mist squad. So hopefully he gets into that lobby soon and we'll get into the match number 1. But Skyline, Hardpoint, it's one of these, it's basically down to your gunfight, right?
Essentially so, as I like to call it, is essentially Nuketown Hardpoint with a different name and a different color palette, because the map is so small, so chaotic. In addition, do we know is the submachine gun GA for the Pro GAs, is that in for this series, or is it still going to be the pre?
I am pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is.
So it'll be interesting to see how this map's changed without long barrel or reinforced on SMGs, because having tried it recently myself, the SMG still feels really good, and when you're within that sort of range, it's still insane. It's still a 3-4 shot kill if you get loads of headshots, especially close range. But you do notice that drop off, like it being hit scan means it's a bit more consistent in terms of hit reg, but you sort of see the drop almost down to 6 or 7 shots at mid range. So the AR becomes a lot more prevalent in that sort of mid range pocket. So it'd be interesting to see if we see potentially more AR heavy setups, or potentially a way to slow down the chaos that is normally Skyline, in which it's just head bash catwalk, head bash mid, and figure it out from there.
I feel that's what it's been for so long, since the start of Beat 06 with Skyline. Every single time it is literally, the cat is honestly moving the whole way. Look at this. She's moving the mic. She's doing everything she could possibly do to get in the way. I'm like, get out the way. Yes, yes. Keeps wanting to rub against everything, and I'm allergic to this one. So it's definitely not the best.
Not ideal.
Not for when it comes to a cast. I will not be able to speak as well. I'll be a bit like yourself. We'll both be coughing up and having a mute, and there'll be nothing on the cast. Sneezing away and whatnot. But yeah, like I was saying, that it has been pretty much where most of these times that you're just running and gunning. There's my cat. The fuck? Jesus. She literally just clawed my leg. I'm not having a good day of getting clawed. I sat down on a bit of perspex today in work, burst the back of my work trousers, and I've actually cut a bit of my bum cheek, which is a bit of a strain because I went down so hard. I don't even know what happened. Like, I'm just like, Jesus. What happened? Yeah.
Well, the cat can smell blood. She wants some of it too.
Exactly. So yeah, hopefully these maps aren't going to be the same as we've expected, especially the changes, the SMGs and such like, and hopefully we get to see some more good AR plays. But that being said, it does mean that we are going to get into that map, because we do have all 4 players making their way into the lobby. The map is going to be shown on that screen. We're going to get the chance to see some wonderful Skyline gameplay here. And
fashionably late, only 13 minutes late from the squads, but we'll allow it.
It's good, it's fine. As long as we're here, right? That is the main
Indeed.
thing.
15-minute timer. Is 2 minutes shy. We're like that.
Right, I'm assuming we'll get ourselves on the right way around. Project Mist. So yeah, there we go. I need to know which is which, because this time around they're changing things as it goes. But we start off the map, and as always, we're going to see who's going to be getting these first wins in the gunfight as YS comes flying through, gets that first blood, and Mucka will fall as a trade back and forward. But as it stands, it's going to be the Virtus Esports guys on time of charge, and game will be ending there. There we go. So we waited all that time, and we're going to go back.
I was going to say number one wasn't given them much. He kind of completely froze up.
I thought he was just holding the back spawn for the majority of the game. Well, that was his plan.
I was going to say versus break-off actually interesting there. The triple hit kitchen. Quite interesting way of doing it because it guarantees some sort of mid control into the bedroom. But it does kind of leave it all onto, I think it was Mucker on the piano stairs to basically stop anybody coming catwalk. So that you can see from the result, they actually ended up flipping themselves because he dropped on the cat stairs. So good for P1 control, not ideal for P2 spawns. But then again, it is Skyline. All you gotta do is win one set of trays and you flip anyway. So
yeah,
maybe it's better off to secure all of those spawns.
Yeah, maybe that is. Well, I don't know what the issue is. Maybe I know one of the players did have shaders before they started. Maybe that was not completely right, and that was the issue. But we're loading back in, and we'll just keep ourselves on that waiting pool just to see, because we don't want to get ourselves too far ahead of ourselves, especially with you with that code. Don't want you getting too hyped too early and losing that voice before the series is even properly begun.
I can't lie, mate. This is going to be some clip central here. My voice is already feeling quite coarse. Somebody gives me like a 40 bomb map one, I might be clutching at straws for the rest of the series.
I feel like I'm like that anyway after like the first couple of kills going down. Let's see how we go from this. There we go. We're just going to start off again. Number 4 still not moving though, but eventually does make that move. So that might change things and we might be back to a good start. But Virtus Esports have 4 players dead in the feed instantaneously, and we've not even witnessed any of the gunfights. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, no, I mean, the difference this time, right? Mucker stays alive on the piano stairs, which allows his team to play the trades mid. Means they can hold the spawns, because that sort of position he's in right there, that's kind of the hard block for that top piano spawn. So as long as he's there, they can continuously flood out the middle of the map. As you can see, they've sort of funneled the mist team into the kitchen area now, where YS can play cuts with his teammate in hill. But now Mucker dropping, we will immediately start to see flip spawns, and maybe lose a bit of time on P1, but Mist have set themselves up for a nice P2 rotation should the gunfights go their way.
Yeah, there we go. The rotation comes in, but a few dead in the feed. There's 3 dead once again. Make that 4 dead for Project Mist. They'll lose their spawns automatically in 5 seconds left on P1. We're going to be going towards P2, where Virtus Esports are set up and ready to go. Watching the crosses, watching the players coming through from kitchen, or coming through from that main front pool side. The rotation comes out though. Let's go. Fake COD jumps on board, slides in. Shots are AOF. Yoz though finds 2. And in that meantime, it seems that Virtus Esports are a 54-0 so far in the hardpoint and looking solid.
Yeah, like I said, Mist set themselves up well, but it's Skyline. What it takes is 1 free down. I immediately flip, and as I say that, Mist actually do a great play there, coming through the pool side of the map, and actually spawn trap Inverse in the bottom kitchen and causing a flip off of those trades. And now they should be able to get the back 20 of this time. Very much needed, as you'd say, otherwise they'd be going into P3 down, 70 points, and that's not ideal on a map like Skyline, where it's so easy to sort of continuously flood the scrap time and just stagger the map out. The
spawn's flipped there. Chance for Brutal Razors. He was on a 5 spree. He was just absolutely lighting up inside the hardpoint, managing to keep that time ticking towards him. But 4 seconds left on the time. Virtus Esports are now still spawning on that P2 side. But there's already 1 player making their way in, and it's Josh. Who's been an absolute stand-up performance so far for his side of Virtus. 9 and 5 so far, holding the time for now, waiting for his team to commit. Rondo will fall as soon as we jump on board, and that'll be Virtus Esports inside kitchen, prepped and ready to try and get as much time as possible here. Gunfights though are traded back and forward, and it's a checkerboard kill feed once again. Yeah, and unfortunately, checkerboard doesn't really cut it if you miss. You do not kind of need to find more trades than the other now. You put yourselves in a bit of a hole. They are playing quite well in terms of the gameplay, in terms of their decision making, but they're just not winning any of the gunfights. As tees off and finds 2 there on the hill, and it should give the back scrap time to Verse as Yoss pushes through. Can't find the kill on a Rondo. That's a big kill, and if it's missed now, this is panic mode. You really need to answer back with a good chunk of time on this final hill. Yeah, you're already 70 points down so far, and no rotations being made. YS inside that vault down below. Going to get that back spawns here as well for your Virtus Esports, and that's exactly what they need here now to get even more time in the hardpoint. Not that they need any more of a gap so far, but they're going to get past that 100 point mark very soon. But Rondo managed to clear it for now. Still got that player in the back spawn, though, and that's Josh, making sure that he tries to hold it for as long as possible. They're still getting spawned out, though, and it's only slightly, as you do hear a few good gunfights going in the way, and YS will clear the zone, get past that 100-point margin right now, and we've got 35 seconds left on the time.
Yeah, it's just clinical from Virtus right now. They every time Mist seem to have the sort of initial idea of what they want to do, but it's either a gap or it's a big two-piece coming in from the likes of Yosh, from the likes of Mucka on the Virtus side, and they're just clearing house now as Tease finds 2 from the top bed, gonna sort of force that bottom kitchen spawn. With only number 4 in Rondo in any position to really get any pressure on the hill right now, and it's really running it up here from the side of Virtus. They're just getting complete control of the map, and even if Mist are in great positions, it doesn't really matter if you just let YS and the boys run through catwalk and run you down, as Skyline can be.
You know, exactly that. You've got one player going down below. That's going to be yours, trying to go around that rotation through P2 to get that spawns, finds a pick as well, and that's going to be crucial for his side. Hopefully trying to keep them pinned back in their spawn so that Virtus push through their own hard point here, sorry, for P1, and they'll get some even more time added and almost take a 100-point lead. By the remainder of that gunfight, Rondo, though, at least gets that trade out from up top. Inside catwalk, 3 dead. Virtus Esports now on the back foot at this moment in time. Well, they have to come back through that P4 hardpoint.
So interesting enough, actually, we mentioned prior to the map, it did look like there for a split second. I can't think if someone picking up guns or not, but the side of Mist actually running 3 ARs on this P1. Definitely can work, especially if you get these longer sight lines. Top bedroom, top piano stairs, looking across from kitchen. Could easily spawn trap some teams. My only worry is, as you can see on the minimap right now, they're effectively leaving certain positions open, such as underground low. As I say, that Rondo does go back and pick it up with an SMG in the back pocket, but he will get flooded through as Virtus look to get a early pressure on the P2, which they will, and start causing those split spawns, the sort of north-south parallels there, as both teams now flood across mid. And it doesn't look great as Yosh finds another big 2-piece entry into every hill. When they need him most, he finds a big 2 on pretty much every hill so far. But as I say, that Rondo, big 2-piece back to sort of alleviate a little bit of pressure for the side of Mist.
Yeah, at least Mist is starting to get some time back into these hard points, starting to get themselves heated up. Will Wes, though, the player that I do recognise from player-wise, isn't having the best of maps so far, and he's going to have to try and turn things around for his side. Yes, it's not down to slaying power, but the more you slay, the more opportunity you have to break in, especially in a map like Hardpoint on Skyline, because, you know, you just can't really deal with not getting kills, and that's pretty much what it's all about. It's gunfights, gunfight after gunfight. If you're not winning, you're not going to win that hardpoint. But they've got it within 100 points now, finally, if your project missed. But their time is still not in your favour, and the kills are definitely not in your favour. That's 4 dead. Mucka finds the free. 100 point
AR
lead
lighting
back
up the
again.
feed.
Absolutely.
AR's lining up the feed. It's all ARs right now until we see YS and Yosh have something to say about that with the Jackals in hand. But I mean, to touch your point, Skyline is such a fast map that there's really no room to allow somebody to sort of start off heavily there. Because yes, you can make smart plays, good routes, but within 3 seconds of spawning, you immediately have a gunfight. So if you can't at least win one, at least go 1 for 1, it could be very tough here. As you see Yosh just lighting up down the hill 3 in a row. Sort of his teammates dropping all around him, but it doesn't really matter as he finds 4. Make it 5 in a row with the slide chow. Looking like a BZ in the kitchen right there, taking everybody out. And it's a 4 down in the feed. Staggered 4 now as we see number 6 Mucka in a prime position. The Ames on that hot tub can now start cutting down these players, forcing a rotation essentially and early from Miss, and just giving up even more time to regain control.
Yeah, Virtus were just doing so well to hold it. They're past that 200-point margin. It could be a 100-point club here for Project Miss if you're not going to be able to get into this hard point. They do find the kills in the back though, and Will Wes gets behind, ready to get that time. They have to wait though, because a lot of their team are not managing to make it through, and Will Wes might be left all alone in the back, but at least Fake Hard gets that spawns, and they are eventually going to find 1 pick there as well, get some time, and players are going to have to come through kitchen here if you're Virtus Esports. They've got plenty of time to play for it. They're not like they're going to lose too much time here, but as long as they can slay out a little bit better now, then maybe get themselves back into the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually a great position here. Brutal Arrays is in a great position there on the hot tub. He can basically call everything: top crosses, bottom crosses, far flanks. I was a little bit concerned there because I saw all of their arrows give up kitchen, but actually the player, I think it was YS, ended up taking a bit of a bizarre route to sort of loop back on himself, obviously anticipating gunfight back there and try to cause a weird timing, but in doing so actually gave them the time to react to that open lane. But as I say, that verse, they brute forced their way in, and this is the issue when you have a lead like this, is Miss essentially need to be perfect now, because Virtus can just hard stack the last 15-20 seconds of every hill and they will just win because they have such a lead in this moment.
Yeah, such a massive lead. 100 points is nothing to be snuffed at this point in time, and our first set of rotations are about to start off. We're back towards P1. YS is holding, are watching the wrong direction though, but he won't know that yet until he finally turns around and beams Brutal Rays off the heady, but Rondo will get the trade at least. And they're going to get the players on the cross. That's free dead in defeat for Virtus Esports. They're going to be spawning back out towards that P4 side and having to get back into the time. So all 4 players will start flooding through kitchen potentially, trying to find a route around the back because they've got plenty of time to play this one. 20 seconds is all they need as well, and they are still on the time. Well, where on that time is Josh now in the back doing what he does best. 27 and 19 so far, 2 streak going his way. They're going to get that spawns here for P2, and they can literally just hold out here for this as he does find his teammate, but does find Fate Cod as well at the same time.
Yeah, no, Yosh is just the playmaker for this team right now. He's the X factor. Whenever they seem to be in a bad position, right, Mist are able to sort of maybe get control, maybe get some slaves with those ARs. He is in the back, just causing an absolute nightmare. And even though he doesn't get any time, just look how much pressure and how much time he buys his team. As I say that, though, Erase and Rondo do combine it to clear out the remaining members of that Virtus team. Mist are in a decent position here to get a good chunk of time, but at this point in the game, they need to basically play perfect hardpoint. They need to get all this time. They need to immediately rotate and break without giving up too much scrap. But if they find all the kills as Rondo starting to heat up here, and Fate as well, another big 2-piece. They may be coming alive now. Maybe this is just a slow start. They weren't warm. Maybe the guns aren't hot. And if I'm the side of Mist right now, if we don't win this game, it's not too bad. If we can get warm, we can get the guns hot, we can look forward to the rest of this series. Because I said Hacienda is a 50-50 square up fest. So if you can get hot going to that, you can really make something happen.
Yeah, certainly, yeah, we could do. Like, that was such a great little flow of performance here in P2 for the Project Mist side. They do manage to get themselves time, but you can see on the minimap already Yosh and his teammates of Milke are already onto this kitchen hardpoint, and they only need 30 more seconds. Yosh doesn't win the gunfight though, and that's 2 players are going to get the pinch, and they're going to get that time. And maybe Project Mist have an opportunity to come back, but it is, like you says, perfect hardpoint required.
Yeah, I mean, that's first step. That's step 1 complete, right? You get all the P2 time, you immediately break the initial hold of Virtus on this new hill. So, I mean, that is back-to-back perfect plays as Rondo finds number 2. Really starting to light up now, make that 4 in a row for Rondo. As we saw originally, it was a Raze that was sort of carrying the slaying, but right now everyone's starting to come alive on the side of Mist, whereas Virtus is a bit more of a balanced effort. Matisse is trying to play spoiler here, and that's a good route there from YS. He's going to get a nice little timing on the pinch here, but as I say, that number 3 Willis has picked it up. He will get the information. But now I like this actually, YS. He's going to buy his time. He's going to wait. He's going to cause some split spawns here if he can win gunfights, which he does. And it's going to cause a sort of north-south split on the grill and give his team the chance to actually get to this new hill, as you got to be thinking right now. First, they're just sort of saying, calm down, guys. Let's play new.
Yeah.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's not play into the Mist side right now.
This game could be won by either team now in this hardpoint. Virtus Esports with the opportunity though closer at hand. But the hardpoint is broken instantaneously. Rondo gets in behind that bathtub. Perfect position. Finds a second kill as well. And all of a sudden Virtus Pro are having to go on the pinch.
And the back spawns.
YS gets it though. 10 seconds. Finds the next
it's a big
pick.
win. It's a big win from YS, 3 in a row right now. It's only all onto Brutal Erase, and it might just be too little too late as Virtus will lock this map up. But wow, it wasn't comfy, it wasn't easy, and I think that's more of a sigh of relief rather than a let's go from the side of Virtus. They really let that game get out of hand. And like I said, I think Mist just started heating up. Erase with 41, by the way, an insane map 1 performance coming out of one of the ARs on the side of Mist. We thought the Amas might have a bit more to say, but yeah, no, it's looking really hot there. The ARs started coming alive there for the side of Mist in the back end. Rondo, Erase combining for a little bit of time. And you think if Fate have a little bit of a better start to the game and don't let sort of Yosh make so many big plays at the start, they could really have just taken that game.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like you says, unbelievable comeback from Project Mist. Wasn't enough, a little bit too late. They left it. Brutal Razo 40 bomb on a losing hardpoint isn't something to be sniffed at, but at least they are warm. And they'll be happy of that. And there's just that final confirmation there of the scoreline. It's 250 to 213. And Virtus made it a little bit more difficult for them in the end there when it looked like it was almost comfortable for them. Do you think there was just a little bit of a, we're just taking it easy now because we've got this in the bag. We only need to get 20 seconds on every single hardpoint from here on out, and got a little bit carried away with herself.
Yeah, some complacency maybe. I think potentially a cause of maybe overheating, right? Because Virtus, they're winning so many of these initial gunfights, so many of these trades on each rotation, right? Not really needing to sort of hard rotate, like I said. They were just coming through the catwalk and sort of body in the gunfights. But you saw as the game progressed, they started to play a little bit faster than they were at the start. And I think that additional pace almost started giving away free picks to the side of Mist. And both their AR players, like I said, Rondo and Erase started getting hot and started winning, consistent 1 or 2 kills on each of the new hills, and that sort of led to the chain, as we said, the P2 to P3, and then at the initial break on P4 as well, which really could have spelled disaster for Virtus. I just think, as I said, calm it down. You're doing everything right at the start of the game, but by increasing the pace, which is very common if you just start winning by a large margin, you start to play faster and more confident, you almost made the game harder for yourself down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely. It was something to kind of like, there was a few good clips in there for the boys of Project Mist, considering the position they were in it. That had to be perfect. It was almost perfect. It wasn't enough to be, but Search and Destroy Hacienda is our map number 2. Slowing it down, S&D format. Are they going to be flying for the early kind of rounds here? Just because obviously no trophy system, nothing like that. Early nades could be potential in the start of it, but are we going to see just a full-on run at it and hope for the best you win your gunfights early on, or are we going to see a little bit more strategical play because it is Division 3 here in ACL this time out?
If I was to have a guess, I feel like Virtus, they might try and slow it down a little bit in this first round, right? Really try and take the sting out of that Mist side, as they had way more aggression and momentum at the end of the game. But if I'm Mist, right, I'm thinking, we nearly won that. We started off slow. Let's run our strats. Let's be confident. We can definitely win this, as we saw in the backstretch of the game, and take it to them. Really take it to Virtus. I don't want to see them sort of lay off and let Virtus have their way with their aggressive subplay.
Yeah, definitely. Brutal Raised opens up the pick. First off kill going against YS. Will Wiz will get an extra one there as well, and it's a 2 versus 2 now as T's trying to find an extra one. And positional wise, we've not even seen any of them. Man, it's crazy to think that 4 people are dead already in a very quick start of the round.
Yeah, it was essentially a 2v4 top mid though, right there, and they got the trades out. But T's does find one on the drop down, and Virtus opted for a mid stack, whereas Mist opted for a stack towards the A bomb. And unfortunately, if you don't win the gunfights mid, it's very easy to get collapsed on now, as it's all on Brutal Erase in a 1 versus 2. But if you want anyone on this Mist team alive, based on the first map, you really want to Raise in this situation, as he does wrap towards the back office side. Sort of resetting the map. Maybe Virtus overthink. 20 seconds left on the clock. Let's see how he plays it.
Yeah, this is a difficult ask when you've got such little time to do things. Working your way through fences here, looking to try and clear the area. Knows where the bomb is, at least himself, but he's going to know, he's going to spot one. But he knows there's a second player, and he's found 2 of the players at least. Now, gets some tagged onto 1, finds that first pick. Gets the trade out there, but players there to trade the kills. The win for Virtus Esports in round 1 here in the S&D. And yeah, when you're at a 2v1, you shouldn't really lose in that scenario with such little time. And they just played it well. They traded out their kills.
Yeah, they're very well played. The connector position is so powerful to sort of bait people in, and you can see the one player was throwing shoulders on Virtus. Mucker then loops around the shed. Practically makes it impossible for Raze to win that unless Mucker misses half a clip. But he does not. He's not going to miss in this level of play, and he finds it, cleans it up.
Yeah, certainly. There we go. Virtus Esports this time round on the attack. Bomb, where are we going? We're going to see a 2-man. No, it's a full send, it looks like, towards that B side through garages. We're going to stay on board with YS here in the back, as he's going to see every single one of his team members for a second until he eventually goes straight on through. But information will be gathered if your project missed, because them stuns did connect early on, so they're going to know that some of the players are over towards this B bomb site.
Yeah, the power of the full stack comes in. It's very easy to bang this bomb set out, but with the info from the nades and the utility, it does allow Mist to sort of create this spider's web. But as I say that, Rondo gets picked by Mucker. That's a big win. Gives some space, but Fate with a big win on the pinch now. This is going to sort of force the Virtus side to really hit out one side of the map and sort of tunnel their way through. Is anyone in position to cause spoiler to Raze is in position on these back stairs, and look at them all compounded around the site. Now this is going to be a case of baiting and switching. Wallbangs come in, the slice through the door. Fate finds one, is traded though by Yosh. Wilwes finds another one, leaves it in a 2 versus 1, and it should be cleaned up, and it's very well played. A very, very good retake there from the side of Mist. As soon as Fate picks up that gunfight on the flank, I like the play he does. He wraps mid, makes the players of Virtus sort of overthink their position, and then the collapse just comes in, and all the trades are won.
Yeah, it was a good wee little trade. See that pick through underneath to find out where the player was positioned through the little screen. Is a good wee position just to see little feats and keep them weak before you go for that challenge. And Brutal Raze, at least his teammate managed to get the pick. Will Wes found that kill, and then Brutal Raze clears it up in the end and has plenty of time on that bomb to get that defusal in, and Project Mist will tie things up in the S&D. I forgot. To
Yeah,
put
no,
the
I think
score.
two very well-round plays there, actually. But both take rounds end up in 2v1s, and both were just played to perfection. Bait and switch, good clean up. Both teams looking solid early stage of this game.
Stay on board with Rondo now. Early on in the push. Oh, Yosh peeks it. Hit that rock side. Doesn't manage to get the kill though if you're Rondo, but at least get some information and scare them off a little bit as they start to make their way towards that B site, over towards rock. You got 2 players, well maybe 3 players actually, Virtus, just hanging around the area. Fake COD does get a wee bit of a pixel and he sees that player in the corner, but YS is not going to move anywhere. He finds the first pick as well, and YS finds 2. I don't know how he's done it. Brittle Race finds 2 though to answer it back.
Swinging it both ways, and Rondo with the next one over the top there. It's leaving a 2v1. That's a crazy scenario. Gunfights there. 2 huge 2 pieces back to back from both teams. Another bomb will go down. It's all onto Mucker here against Erase and Rondo. The AR duo versus the lone MS user of Virtus. I see where he likes to play it. Got a peek one. That's good information there from Erase. Now all we got to do is just double challenge together. Out comes the fly. They double peek him. Back him up. Both players tagged up though. Mucker now.
Oh,
He's just trying to play these angle stuns come in, and it's just so difficult. He needs to essentially rip one of these players almost immediately before he can try and work the second gunfight. But like I said, both teams playing these 2v1s very well. Mucker going to commit now, going to slide in, find shots into the one, tagged him up, but no, not enough time. Very well played 2v1, and just unfortunate for Mucker there, not much he can really do.
He gives the kill away towards Brutal as well. Probably didn't want to do that, but I mean, front shoulders, just trying to bait them out a little bit. Try if he can try and pick a kill himself, but Project Mix will find the 2 rounds in a bounce and going to give themselves the advantage here in the S&D. But it is still early on in the rounds. There has been different phases of play from both attacks from both teams, and yeah, we'll see if there's going to be a change of plan and a change of idea here from that B bomb site, or are we going to see something push towards A side for a map at least.
It's interesting to see the difference though as well with Virtus. When they got to that rock bomb, they immediately went for the plant, right? Whereas Mist, they sort of were almost inviting the pressure. They wanted them to come in and try and challenge. They want to try and catch them out, maybe go for a quick kill on a planter. So it's interesting to see the alternate in the players. The A hit does come in, and it looks like a blind read from Misha to give up the A bomb site and predict this B hit is going to lead to a very early plant in the round. And YS in a great advanced position. Shots coming in. Rondo with a great shoulder here, potentially for a bait and switch scenario. YS in no man's land is going to get caught out by Fate, and now we have a 4 versus 3 retake here as the entire of mid control belongs to Mist.
Yeah, certainly as they managed to get that first pick. They're going to find a second as Brutal raises on 5 in a row. Has got more information here as Rondo finds Taze. It's all down to Yosh. He almost shoots his teammate out there. Brutal raises. He's trying to find that extra pick. Up inside Secret is. He's going to get the diffuser. That's going to give them even more points towards that Hellstorm. Backfully survives as well. And Fake COD will finish off the kills. Virtus Esports just couldn't hold on for long enough here as the first pick goes against them instantaneously. Brutal Raise just closes things out and Fake COD will finish the final kill.
The AR duo of Erase and Rondo which taken over. They had a great heat up moment at the end of the last map, and they've continued. It's always Erase Rondo, 1-2 punch on all of these setups from Verse. The ARs are just paying dividends right now. That Amas is looking really good in the new meta of the game.
Yeah, it certainly is, and this is exactly what you said before the maps even started. We're going to maybe see more use of that AR, and it's good to see it working and being more favourable at the moment in time, but you're going to see 2 different positions here. Brutal is sending it towards B, just trying to put that bait out here this side, while the rest of his team will rotate down towards that A bomb site, because Virtus Esports have got 2 and 2 split as it stands.
They're essentially calling the bluff. Mist have called the bluff. They've gone, well, you want to go away? That's fine. We'll go away too. Almost sort of calling the bluff of the Virtus side, as Will Wes will find one in that connect area. Rondo in a big 1v1 here. He needs to stay alive here if he really can. Otherwise, that collapse will come in, and YS making a big play over the top. Fate now stuck in no man's land, as I said before. Will drop. It becomes a 2 versus 2. No one really needs to trade anybody here, as both players essentially effectively taking 1v1s. Erase wins his, and now Rondo can collapse in. And do they try and work this pattern? Do they go for the rotation? They're going to slow it down. Looking like a rotation through mid-gen. Oh, they're like ships in the night. They pass each other. Yosh gonna check that A-bomb. Be so confused. I just heard him there sliding about and I've seen nothing. As the rotation comes in from Mist. The bomb should go down here. We have a 1 versus 2 reset for Yosh.
Yeah, and with Brutal getting that down as well. That'll be a Hellstorm missile earned, I'm sure. Yes, it is. But early, Yosh does find the pick. He's got plenty of time to play now. 39 seconds. Trying to find Brutal.
He's read this rotation perfectly, and he's winned it. Wow. Big win from there from Yosh. Really got to think with the streak, if they won that round, Mist were in prime position to really run away with this game and snowball it. But a great 1v2 from Yosh. Wins that initial fight onto Rondo and then just reads that to perfection. Looks at the bombs planted and anticipates the rotation coming in there.
Yeah, that was a very good read from Yosh. Couldn't expect him to do anything better. Gets the first pick almost just as the bomb gets put down, which gives him even more time to play around here, trying to find Brutal Race, who was on a good streak of himself, but he has got that Hellstorm earned after putting the bomb down. They're still leading the way here, and now it's going to be a Virtus Esports attack in round. See where they can go. Are they going to go straight towards this A site, which we've seen now for the last couple of rounds? We're going towards A. They've baited enough to run towards B, but you've seen a full push down through mid-map from Project Mist.
Yeah, they really seem comfortable in that mid retic scenario you missed whenever teams go away. But as I say, that YS finds that one pick around the wine area here and is going to able to allow Virtus to push out both sides now and sort of isolate gunfights as Yosh finds another one there onto Rondo. And it's just great teamwork here from Virtus. They're collapsing in on these players. They know that Mist like mid, and instead of sort of trying to fight them straight up, they're playing little traps, little pinches as Yosh finds one and T cleans up the final player. That's 4 up, 4 down, and a very clean offense there from Virtus.
Yeah, that tied it up already as well when it looked like it was good for Project Mist. A good solid round from them. Just sitting watching the corners here to find that final pick on a raise. And yeah, Tease is Alma is in hand, and that's my favourite weapon as it is, because I'm an old man now, and AR seems to be my go-to for the majority of the time, even though this game was looking good as SMGs considering, but I mean it was looking good for pretty much the majority of the rosters because it was just the better weapon to be using with the speed of play and how, well, not broken, but I mean now they could technically say they think it was broken because it got GA'd, so I guess in a way it was just too overpowered for them.
Yeah, I think it's just the way this game plays, right? The movement's so fast, the mechanics are so good, as you see, a absolute smash and grab from Rondo there with a nade pick over the top on the rock. Both teams colliding on this B bomb site as it's sort of a 4v4 square up here on the site, but the Jackal really sort of exaggerated the style of this game, the Omni movement mechanics. As I say, that Mucker though finds 2 picks from the office side there. They must have given him an angle or something to find with that Amas as it leaves a raise all alone now in the 1 versus 2. He's probably confused, 1 versus 3 even, probably confused. They're backing up to get flanked and thinking, how do we both get picked from one side? Is he going to get caught in the library? But he does win a big 1v1 onto Mucker now and can reset and play this. But I do like this here from Verse. Tease and Yosh holding hands. Going to make this very difficult. He really needs to try and find one and rip one instantly with this AR, but he's going to get no chance as the team shots come over the top.
No chance whatsoever from Virtus here. Team shots are perfect. Will win that gunfight on Brutal Raise. Couldn't do anything about it. He did find one at least in the 1v3, but 2 players playing side by side. Going to be almost impossible to deal with when you've got to come through such a big open space, and the heady that you're on there in behind rock is just too hard to ping somebody off of it unless all of a sudden you just get some good timing.
I almost think that Mucker got a double wallbang on that bomb side because he was positioned to where he couldn't really see the opposing side unless he went for the wallbang, which if he gets double wallbang in an S&D, then fair enough. There's nothing we should really argue here as we go back and forth with the offense, and it's a bottom mid rush. I love this kind of play right here because no one really anticipates this. Straight through the bottom of the map. Look at this. They're in no man's land right now, but Rondo definitely would hear sound cues. The door's coming open and finds one quickly on the pinch and gets away as well. It's a big kill from Rondo. Erase now trying to anticipate these players, but do they know that the entire reverse is essentially in their base causing havoc as Tease finds Rondo? No, he's there now, and a big one from Yosh and YS. 3 different 1v1s, 3 different wins, all for Verse, and it leaves Erase now all alone again in a 1v3.
Yeah, another difficult situation for Bruto now as he's trying to clear all the angles here to get himself in a position to potentially find any of the players from Virtus Esports, but they're going to play well together. All 3 players will be going and looking over towards that A bomb site as Bruto Race is going to try and clear as much as B, but he knows now that the bomb is being planted towards A. Now, where do you look over? Where are these crossovers that Bruto Race need to find at least one? Player dives to his left hand side and Bruto's going to go chasing for it. Both players know each other are there, but there's too many players chasing him and Virtus will win the gunfight. And all of a sudden, it went from what looked like a Project Mist S&G round to Virtus Esports having one more round to win to take the map.
Yeah, I think that's 4 in a row now for the side of Verse. It looked like sort of cruise control almost a missed, right, when the streak comes in and the plant, but that 1v2 really just completely reset the momentum for the side of Verse. They must have got hyped off that, some energy out of that, and sort of realised that, if we just play together, Mist really can't pick us apart. The 2v1 little bait and switches, little picks and pockets they're finding on the map right now shows that they clearly have very good knowledge of Hacienda.
Yeah, definitely do. You've got Tease and Yosh as well, both currently on a 5 streak so far, haven't fell in the last fair few rounds here, and it's looking good for them, and they'll be looking to build streaks, but we've still not seen that streak that Project Mist do have, as Yosh does find another first blood. 6 in a row he goes. But there's a player on that flank. YS is looking.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say, I think Eraser's going to use that streak on the well, but the way the collapse has come in, he hasn't really had any time to think because he's getting compounded in the library, but somehow swings it into 2. Fate finds 1. It's now 1 versus 1. YS against Fate here. If Fate can win this, they do have that streak to extend this map even more, but right here, we got to think YS with the hot hand. He might have the advantage, but neither player seems to have any read on where this other player on the opposed team is, as both are checking opposing bomb sites.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a very strange position there, because they started shooting walls here to try and gain information, so players would start chasing towards them thinking they'll win their gunfights, but Virtus get the great timing here. YS finds Fate trying to get towards that bomb site, and he's going to have to win the gunfight here if you are Fate, and he does do so. Project Mist keep themselves in the S&D round.
The movement coming in hot right there from Fate. Get behind that rock and play his life finessing with the Jackal. So powerful in this position, even with the ranged GAs coming in. That range right there is the pocket you want to be in, and that is the 4-shot kill directly to the head. Great shots from Fate.
Yeah, we've got that opportunity now for Project Mist. So like you said, they never got the chance to use that Hellstorm. They're going to have to try and use it here to try and give themselves a chance to stay in the S&D and take it to that round 11. Virtus Esports still map point in their hands here in an attacking round. We got on board as Yosh has been one of the players to get that first blood early on. He's 8-5 so far, but I think that team stun is kind of, team nade almost done some damage to Yosh. So
I think that is a streak coming in. I think that is a streak coming in there. Ray's, look at him, he's laying in the corner. I think that's the Hellstorm missile coming in here from the side.
It's the first blood though.
Oh yeah, that's so unfortunate, but the trade does come in from Will Wes. They need to sort of group up here. Rondo over the top finds another one, finds 2 in the top open out of nowhere. Rondo swings it to a 3 versus 1 all on Mucker, and I guess the intel from the Hellstorm was enough there. I thought when that first blood came in that it might have been all she wrote, but the intel comes in and Rondo is shoots straight. The shot is pure in that top open, and now Mucker 1v3 makes it a 1v2, but Will find him. That's a great round. It's messy, but it does get the job done there from Mist.
I thought when he took that out and then all of a sudden his first teammate balls, that could be detrimental to the round. It wasn't to be though. Good enough information had, and yeah, you can see Will Wes finishing off the gunfight. Rondo with that 2-piece definitely secured that opportunity to win the round and take it to that round 11. And now Virtus Esports, who had some good rounds in a row. Project Mist have managed to bring it back. And they have an attacking round.
It's the same story as map 1, right? Virtus storm off into a lead. Mist claw their way back. So let's see if they can capitalize on this momentum in the comeback, or will Virtus yet again ice out another one of these tight maps. And it's a bottom mid hit here coming in from Fate. I love this because it's so hard to get information on this part of the map unless you look over in the windows and overextend as the pinch comes in. Yeah, can he work well? Yosh does get sound cues on the doors though. Fate in a 1 versus 1 gunfight, and he wins it and gets away as well. Trying to finesse around this wine area, baits his life out very well. The players are sort of trying to hunt him, but they're going to give up positions due to this, and the B bomb site should be now in full control of Project Mist, as Mucker now has to worry about 2 different angles. Where is Fate and where is the people on B?
Yeah, exactly that. I think YS has got some information there. He does come challenging down towards that rock side through the doorway. Nobody's found. Tease finds 1. Now they decide to push on out towards rock with that man advantage. You've got 3 players swarming. There are shot in the back though. Mucker, it's all got a fake card. He will fall.
My god. Tease with 3 in the final round when you need him most. The AR comes in and finds all 3 on the bomb site. You got to be kicking yourselves there if you miss. First blood bomb down with all the info you could ever need, and you still cannot capitalize. I thought that late pinch coming in there would have been the dagger. If they just bought a little bit more time, that pinch from Fate would have basically sealed the round, but they couldn't stay up long enough. And Tease over the top, the Amas in hand finds 3 on the retake.
Yeah, a crazy round of S&D. Project Mist got themselves back into it. I was hoping they were going to see something nice from them to tie the series up, but it got a bit unfortunate in the end. Virtus Esports come out on top once again, even with that big lead, they kind of slowly start losing it for a second. Then they bring it back and they secure the win in the round, and the map goes their way. Hacienda Control is up next with it 2-0 for Virtus Esports. Do we see it continuing that trend? Back to a respawn though, and obviously Control Hacienda. It's a bit of a stranger one compared to Vault. It's not as regularly picked in terms of the control, but Hacienda map is very well known to the players. And do you have any like advantage that you see when you go around that Hacienda map control? Is there any route that you prefer to start going AB sites first, or is there a certain route that you think can kind of open up for you as an attacker?
Well, so Hacienda, right? The A site is so difficult to cap because it's completely out in the open. There's not really any cover, and if the enemy team can get any sort of control of the top middle area, you basically can't be on the point without getting shot at from multiple angles. So what you generally tend to see now is a lot of teams, they'll do one or two things. They'll either fully commit to the B hit, because if they can get the picks on that B side and sort of neutralize the flank that is going to come in every single time, then the defense spawns so deep towards that sort of boathouse side that B almost falls immediately if you can get a clean wipe off the break. And at that point, then you have 2 minutes to sort of work the enemy base to sort of finish that A cap off. The other thing you generally tend to see is a complete hit towards the rock side of the map through open to try and get early control of top middle and then sort of work off of the info you've got. If you get all the picks around office, you can drop down to B. Or if you get all the picks around sort of the top middle area and cap the pinches, you can maybe get on A very quickly as well.
Yeah, cool. Right, so we'll see if these guys decide to take any of them ideas or any of these routes when it goes into that hard point, into that control, sorry, at the start of the round here. And we're going to be attacking round for Project Mist. On board with Fate Cod, as all 4 players tend to be looking towards that B site early on. But Fate Cod in through Secret YS finds the first pick. First blood going their way in purple in the new kill feed is what you want, but 2 are answered back. Make that free as Rondo has managed to find 2 players in a row. They'll start capturing that B site, and they've got 2 players at least on board with that. And one pushed up a little bit here, just trying to find some extra picks, but 2 kills go their way. Brutores at least trades one back, finds a second pick. Wow. The turn and burn.
The turn and burn indeed, but you can see how deep the spawns are, right? Look at 8 and 5, complete opposite side of the map from the B point. If the gunfight wins come in here, Erase can maybe get on that point, but it's a huge 1v1 actually from Mucka to stay alive around that top dark side of the map. And now you can see the collapse come in, the spider's web, as they push out towards the rock side and top middle to sort of begin that seal of the spawn trap towards the Lambo side.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder to see because I've just decided to pick grey for the team, which means when we're seeing ticks of progress, they're very, very hard to spot out, but it's 2 ticks of progress made towards B side. They are trying to push towards this A, trying to clear some of the map and get some control. But as it stands, Project Mist are still 1 kill in the lead here. Make that 2 as they get the trade back and forward. But the 28 seconds, they have to stop on the time. And Brutores will be the first one to do that. Finds a gunfight on the same time, and it'll be Yosh to trade him out. You need to start making a move here if you're Project Mist. Time could go against you. And it looks like it's going that way as the defense is holding strong.
Holding strong they are indeed there as Mucka finds 2 and Yosh for the 3 down. What I keep noticing here is it's been teased each time, right? Every time he spawns, he's just constantly cautious of that rock overextension. Such an important thing to do because the Lambo spawn is so sticky here as you're coming on the backside of this map for the side of the offense. So if you don't respect that rock flank, it will come in and they will get in your base and cause havoc. As I say that, Erase, the man of the hour for Mist so far this series, manages to get onto the point and find 2 very quick kills to potentially swing this. Make it 3. Nearly all 4 there for Erase's YS. Will eventually go down with the trades. He might have just done enough to get that time extension. He has. As Fate finds one coming over the top. It's a hero play coming in there for the side of Erase as this all tied up on kills. And we have a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Bruto's brought himself back into this game and brought the Project Mist side in the attack looking good. But it's 8 versus 5. It could go down to the kills here. And if you're clever and if you're Virtus Esports, you make sure it does because you are already almost 5 ticks of progression down. You lose too many lives here. You might be leaving yourself a tougher ask here and trying to bring all 6 wins on the attack. Rondo adds another at 6 versus 3. Double up on the kills. Another one goes away, Fate Cod, and now you're going to have a difficult ask here. No respawns from both sides. Start making that tick progression count.
If I'm Virtus, I throw my bodies on this point. If we're pretty much the rounds conceded, right? We don't want to give away any ticks here because we know how powerful the defense is. As I say that, Maka finds 2 out of nowhere, potentially turning this into a 2 versus 1 scenario. Can he make this work as he's finessing around the fountain? He can't. The pinch does come in and the round goes the way of Mist anyway. But I say you much prefer giving away the lives there. Yes, the life advantage is important, but you really don't want to give away any free ticks for the side there. 4 versus 2 would have been nigh on impossible, as Maka made it possible. But you got to think, Arrays, the whole series, right? 40 map 1, double digits map 2 with a Hellstorm, and 11 in the first round there to drag what could have been a very tough offensive loss into a win for the side of Mist. He's really doing it all right now.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's erasing the opposition on the battlefield, but still not managing to find a map count win, which is surprising considering the performance he's putting out here. And if he can continue what he's doing now, it could be a chance to win this control, as they will be on the defense this time around. You've also got Mucka on the other hand, though. He's also doing a standard job here. 11 and 5 his way, and he's going to be the first one to find a first pick. YS finds it next. And you're going to get players trying to get towards that B site early on. Mucka's going to add more to the Katali. Makes it a double.
Interesting enough, both ARs popping off here for their respected teams. Yeah, we mentioned at the start of the series, one sort of cause and effect of the SMG nerf is that this map was already AR dominant because of the size. You add in an SMG nerf through the GAs and it becomes even more important that your ARs play well due to the lack of range now these SMGs have across these top hallways.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be that big of a deal, but it does seem to be changing the way the game is played, the way the map is flowing. That being said, Mucka is trying to push up into the back spawn of Project Mist, doesn't manage to find any kills. But you've got YS having to get towards that zone, but it's not making the same amount of pushes towards any time or any progression as much as the Project Mist side were, but they are winning most of their gunfights and they are got the life advantage. So maybe they're working their way into the lives to start with, and then they'll start making their pushes towards the zones. But Brittle raising the answer back, finds 2.
Yeah, and he pushes up there to force that Lambo spawn. You can see it's allowing the pinch from Fate here, and it's going to cause a complete collapse onto the top. Now, what you're seeing here is that, yes, there is kills going the way of Verse, but is able to sort of cause enough chaos on the map that they can't really converge into a point. As I say that, though, they do find 3 around the B side. Erase is going to come over the top here and find a gunfight, and he wins it somehow. Mucko gets first shot, but can't win it. The cover too powerful, 17 and 9 now for Erase, and he's just playing spoiler, right? They're getting picks first, they're getting kills, the lives are relatively even, but they just can't get any sort of clearance on the point. Whenever they get in position, they're just getting cleared out. As Will finds 2 with the AR, leads us to a technical 1v1. Erase puts shots down, but can't find the kill now, and it will effectively seal that B point. That is now 3 ticks to the side of us.
Yeah, there we go. That's going to be the added minute. About a minute and 18 to try and answer back. They've got the life advantage, but it was only whittled down to 3 difference. Make that 4 now as Josh and Mucka combine now to find 1 each. That gunfight from Tez was not the one to win that, but at least his teammate gets that trade out. He'll fly out towards that A zone and already got players pushed up into that spawn of Project Mist, knowing that some of the players have been killed. And YS is looking to do that here inside office. He'll be going towards the A zone though, surprisingly.
Oh, big shots coming in out of Rays there to trade YS. It's such an important position, that top office, right? Because it basically cuts any reinforcements from either side from the side here. Because like I say, this boathouse spawn is so sticky. As the other side is always stuck towards the driveway, that sort of back boathouse spawn will always come in for the side of Mist. So if you can get pushed up towards that office side, you can effectively trap these players in the top left corner of the map and really give your team time and breathing space on the map. But as I say that, a good overextension comes in for Mist. They get some clearance and they get some map control. This next wave of kills would effectively seal the round here as Josh finds 1, Tease finds 1, Mucka combines for 3 down. Now all on to Rondo in a 1 versus 6. Again, I would throw my body at this point. You really don't want to give away ticks. You have an advantage, and that will come in.
Just that. Yeah, just that. I was about to say, I feel like Virtus has kind of thrown that away. They pushed themselves up into Project Mist's like spawn, but they didn't have anybody on the zone. They didn't leave one back to kind of get that tick progression, which might come in handy coming into it. But they have managed to gain, what was that, 4 ticks of progression from themselves, so they're still 1 behind from the Project Mist's attack. So they're at that defensive side advantage here for them, but at least they get around on the board, and it is 1 apiece in the control with Project Mist now to attack again.
I do think the slaying is heavily in the favour of this, though. Much cleaner offense from them. I think it was 6-1 versus a 2v1, so I think they're up 4 kills now going into the second side. So that if they can even the ticks, they do have a slight advantage going into the last round, but we'll see. As it's looking like a top rock hit here. They actually done both the offenses I mentioned prior to the map starting. Let's see now how Mist play this mid-map control.
Here we go. Project Mist. Trying to gain information. Have spotted players on the crosshair. Will Wes does spot YS there. We'll go chasing. Don't go chasing too much though, because chasing kills can get you killed. And as I say, that's exactly what happens. Taze will come around the other side. He'll find that pick. Will Wes will fall. And Virtus Esports winning in the slaying department still. Oh my god, Taze. He's on 5 in a row. That was a big win.
Sort of clearing the base, like 3 down in the feed, full map control. Rondo, last guy up, you know where he is. Trade should come in. And I say that though, Rondo, the AR shot is pure. I feel like every time we hop on board with someone, it's an Amas absolutely lighting up another person in mid-range gunfights. As I said though, Tease with the Jackal will find the trades. Yosh comes in and combines for a checkerboard kill feed. But if you're averse, that's what you want. You just want consistent trades. Stop any sort of form of map pressure here. But number 4, that is Rondo has slipped the net here. It's a big life he's going to be collapsed on, and he can't find anything. Now Tease is going to get a ton of information for his team. It was 7 in a row. They're potentially a Hellstorm missile, but he will be cleaned up through his aggression from brutal erase. It is now going to fall onto Will Wes. As I say that though, he does find one and will get to the point now. Fate over the top through the plat can collapse, and that is a 4 down in the feed, both points at the same time here. This is a bit of a dangerous situation for Verse. You really needed to sort one out here.
This is going to be rough. 6 seconds it was left on the clock, but they're making progression towards both sides there. But there's only Fate COD. It all stands in his hand. Fate is not in his favour.
It's a big 2-piece from Yosh to clear out that middle map, and that's a 3 down in the feed. It's clean. It's very clean from the side of Verse. It got a bit messy at the end there where they let that player slip the net, but it doesn't matter if Yosh comes through wine and finds every bit on A for you. You can kind of leave him do his own thing in that position.
Was there even a ticket progression made on any of them?
I don't think it was close. I think it was close on the B, but I don't think there was a tick. So I do think it's still 5-4 in favour of Mist right now. But 1 tick, that's nothing. 1 stack, and you're good to go if you're the side of Verse, because you're heavily in the lead with lives right now. Yeah,
it's definitely. They're looking to slay it out. They're looking to continue that form. Fate COD though is going to be trying to turn things around as well. Brutal Race has been stand-up performance once again though for his side as Project Mist, but on board this time. The attacking side, it's going to be Mucka 18 and 6. Yosh is 15 and 18. I'm going to stay on board there, but they're definitely looking to find some extra bits of progression, tick progression, and even win the round. Because if they win the round, they win the map. And they win the series here. But Yosh gets a challenge on from Will Wes. Will win his gunfight though. Knows there's another player over towards that B site, but decides against it. Brutal Race will run into his gunshot, so instead... And now... He's going to try and push up to the spawn. His teammates there to get the trade. Watching across his Mucka as well from that spawn. Now they're going to get him in that spawn trap. Will Wes though, from that spawn.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate mismatch there. YS with an SMG trying to take that really long range gunfight. Not ideal, but the spawn trap is still in you as T and Mucka combine to find 2. If they can just collapse and kill Rondo, which they've done, they have so much control of the map right now. As Fate is sort of running around his spawn thinking we're still looking for Tease. We don't know where he is, but turns out he's actually rotated through. But as I say, that Fate with a big gunfight over the top switches to an AR actually to clear out that B-side point. And we're going to see 4 Amasses on the side of Mist right now as their main sub switches to an AR. He's had enough of it as the side of Virtus do push out towards the tin side.
Yeah, Will Wes now with Ames finds 1. Traded out though as Mucka finds that. They're going to try and get on the time here. 2 ticks of progression is about to be made. Brutal Race from up top though. Ames versus Ames, the 2 AR players though, but Mucka wins the gunfight once again. They're going to get the progression made here, an extra minute added. And there we go. It's a second away. There we go. We get it. 137. Life count in their advantage as well, but only by 2 this time round.
It's big clearance kills from Rondo there, stopping any of the pinchers coming in, but that will secure the round 5 defense regardless now, as Mist will 100% be on the offensive side. It just comes down to, do we need it? Do we need that last round, or can we just close it out here as the spawn kills come in? Tease and Mucka combine in the feed, make it 3 down, make it a split 4 as this last player off spawn Rondo will find 1. It is staggered, and you can see they don't want to even go near the point there. They're thinking about aggression. They're thinking we've got a minute here to really run up these kills. But as I say that, Yosh drops down and will get found. Turns out when they go against their own methodology, as Will Wes finds 1, they can fall as Mist managed to elude those spawn traps and find up some big kills there to get out to rock, get out to the top side of the map.
Oh, Josh is just shooting bodies now, and it's still going their way, but there's only a 2 life difference here. Virtus Esports. Fake Cod finds 2. He's made it a free streak. Now pushing up here from that spawn. Brutal Rays is in that position here to kind of get them off a spawn. Rolls out the trophy system, gets the timing, gets 1 pick, doesn't find another now. Fate knows he's going to potentially come into his crosshairs, but instead they go up top of the map. And this is where Virtus Esports, with the man advantage, you've got 3 lives advantage here. They can win it in kills, they can win it on ticks. Either one works for them. But they have 2 players now to clear out, and that will be the round. And Virtus Esports will take the map and the series. If this, all they need to do is find the picks, but they can't find anybody, so just hop the zone. People have to come to them.
Exactly, stack the point, force these last 2 players to come out. As they do find Faye, it's all onto Rondo. 1 versus 5. Got to find all 4 kills plus 1, and a dolphin dive pistol shots come in to clean it up, and that will be a 3-0 for the side of Verse. And I mean, the series count does not tell you the full story there. Every map felt like it was winnable positions for the side of Miss, but when they needed to most, the ice was on the side of Verse here. As whenever things got rough, they managed to just thrive in that chaotic environment and make big plays. YS and Yosh on the SMGs combining to really bail their team out of some bad situations.
Yeah, certainly have been. Brutal Rays has been an absolute stand-up performer as well, even on a losing side here for Project Miss. It's been unfortunate for them, but they've been so close in every single map. Didn't look like it in the hardpoint to start with, but they brought it back. Same with the S&D, they brought it back. Still losing out by just 1 round. And the control there, it could have been anything, but most of the time it went down to winning the gunfights, and then most of the times the gunfights favoured that side of Virtus Esports. They do take the series 3-0. And if you were to pick a stand-up performer from the Virtus side, who would you be saying is their MVP?
So I was thinking about Mucka because I think he had really good 3 maps in a row there. But given how good the Amas looked, I think I might be leaning more to Yosh, because to consistently perform with the SMG, when, as we saw through the screens right there, the AR looked a lot stronger in some of the scenarios. So to pop off a bit with that SMG and really bail his team out with some big plays, I'm going to give it to Yosh.
I could definitely agree with that. Like he says, it was Mucka's standing out performance with that AR, but on the other side, Brutal Rays was doing the same with the AR, so maybe the ARs are just looking pretty dominant so far. So the fact that Yosh did such a great job himself with the Jackal, even with the nerfs, stand-up performance, we'll give him the MVP. And yeah, overall, I think it was a great series for Virtus Esports, and there's a few things maybe they can work on just to kind of close out series a little bit better. Maybe have that big advantage that they did, not throw it away. Don't get too kind of lackadaisical, and you want to just make sure you close out your series and give yourself as dominant performance as possible, because it's something that's always going to do is scare the opposition that you go play against next, right?
Mm-hmm. It just seems to be with them, it's just it's almost overheating, right? They almost try and they get so hot, they win so many quick consecutive gunfights that they feel like they can really do anything and push anything. And confidence is so important in Call of Duty with the way momentum works, especially in a game as fast as this. But all it takes is one moment where you overheat too much, and then it can quickly lead to a 4 down and a swing for the other team, and then all of a sudden they have the momentum and you're on the back foot. So I think if you just get a little bit of almost a calm down switch when you have a big lead, you'll be looking a lot better to close out some of these maps. Yeah,
I definitely agree there. Virtus, well done. What Wes in chat has actually said and came in and says, I am so washed right now. He's not been playing for a while, and he felt it. He's felt it today. Took a little bit to warm up in the hardpoint, but well, Wes, GG's, unlucky for your series, but well done to Virtus Esports. Again, Avo, thank you for joining me once again for a cast. I really do appreciate it. The knowledge, the insightness of yourself and your knowledge of Call of Duty always amazes me, and I'm glad to have you coming along on board. And even if the illness, it didn't seem to stop you too much, so well done.
Yeah, the stream deck came in clutch, the little tactical mute button in between scenarios, letting you sort of go, and I just lean back and figure it out from there. But you know, I appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting me on. Apologies I couldn't make it yesterday, life got in the way, but we had to make sure 100% when I was on death's door I'd be here today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you could make it, and I'm glad you got a series to cast over, but sadly not a 5-game thrower, but a good matchup for sure though. And Virtus Esports, well done to you for that 3-0 win. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. We will send you away to the replays, and we'll catch you for our next cast, whenever that may be. It might even be challengers on Sunday, so we'll wait and see what's happening on the script. But thank you for tuning in, and Avo, once again, Have a great evening, and hopefully you get better soon, mate.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening too, and thanks for watching, guys.
Esports have 4 players dead in the feed instantaneously, and we've not even witnessed any of the gunfights. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the difference this time, right? Mucker stays alive on the piano stairs, which allows his team to play the trades mid. Means they can hold the spawns, because that sort of position he's in right there, that's kind of the hard block for that top piano spawn. So as long as
P2 side, but there's already one player making their way in, and it's Josh. It's been an absolute stand-up performance so far for his side of Virtus. 9 and 5 so far, holding the time for now, waiting for his team to commit. Rondo will fall as soon as we jump on board, and that'll be Virtus Esports inside kitchen, prepped and ready to try and get as much time as possible here. As they hold it for as long as possible, they're still getting spawned out though, and it's only slightly as you do hear a few good gunfights going in the way, and YS will clear the zone, get past that 100-point margin right now, and we've got 35 seconds left on the time.
yeah, it's just clinical from Virtus right now. They every time miss seem to have on this P1. Definitely can work, especially if you get these longer sight lines. Top bedroom, top piano stairs, looking across from kitchen. Could easily spawn trap some teams. My only worry is, as you can see on the minimap right now, they're effectively leaving certain positions open, such as underground low. As I say, that Rondo does go back and pick it up with an SMG in the back pocket, but he will get flooded through.
We deal with not getting kills, and that's pretty much what it's all about. It's gunfights. Gunfight after gunfight. They've got within 100 points now, finally, if your project missed. But the time is still not in your
I mean, to touch your point, Skyline is such a fast map, and there's really no room to allow them to start heading there. And yes, you can make smart plays with routes, but within 3 seconds of scoring, we usually have a gunfight. So you has picked it up, you will get the information. But now I like this actually. YS, he's going to buy his time, he's going to wait, he's going